Hi guys, here I am. I'm going to talk about the IELTS Task 1 today. And I know some of you will start thinking, IELTS Task 1, it's so easy. Well, you're more than welcome to skip and look at another one of my videos, but I recommend you think about Task 1. It's not so easy. It's a very, very important section because it gives you that opportunity to make a good first impression. And everybody knows how important those first impressions are. So let's think about the IELTS Task 1. The most common question in the IELTS test, in any section, is, are you a student or are you working? Okay. I know it's a very common question, so you should make a very good answer. So prepare a great answer. If they ask me this question, I'm going to say, I'm an English teacher. I specialize in IELTS. Most of my students are people who want to study abroad. MBAs or just go to university abroad. Okay, here's my answer. Pretty simple. Just, I'm an English teacher. Okay, I specialize in. All right, so that way I can make a first answer that's very quick, that's very sharp. That's important. Okay, it shows my fluency. All right, my answer is not complicated. The sentences are short. But of course, if you want to think about a more complicated sentence, you're more than welcome, but keep it natural. Most people don't use long sentences in natural conversation, do they? Okay, now the second question they'll probably ask me is, what do you like about your job? Okay, not do you like your job, but what do you like about your job? If they ask me that question, once again, I'm going to try to answer with a very short, sharp first sentence, or not even a sentence, in fact. So when they say, what do you like about your job? I'm going to say, the students. I really like the students. They're mostly very nice people. And when one of them tells me that they got a 7 or a 6.5 for the speaking section, I feel very proud. Okay? Did you hear that? My answer was the students. I really like the students. Okay? Sounds natural? Okay, it's not difficult, it's not very high level, but when I say it quickly, it sounds very natural and it will leave a good impression. Okay, now the third question they'll probably ask me is there anything you dislike about your job? In that case, once again, I want to answer quickly and concisely. Concisely means short sentence. So when they say, is there anything you dislike about your job? I'm going to say, the hours. Yeah, I work long hours. I work from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. That's tough sometimes. Okay? Did you catch that? All I said was the hours. All right? Very easy. I know, it's very easy, but there's a tendency for many people to say, what do you dislike about your job? My dislike point is blah, 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 blah. Okay, my dislike point is wrong. Dislike is not an adjective, it's a verb. Okay, adjective wa keiyoshi, verb wa doshi. So dislike wa doshi desu. そして dislike point wa dame. So, of course, you can say, I dislike the hours. I could say that, but it's much easier, It's much easier just to say the hours. You know, I really don't like the hours because blah, blah, blah. Okay, so think about that. Don't have to make a full sentence to begin with. Just start with a nice short response and then extend a little bit. Speak about 20 seconds. That's enough, which is probably 3 to 4 sentences, but I'm going to stick around the 3 sentence mark. Okay, that's enough for me, I think. All right. Now, of course, the second most common question is, where are you living? Okay, now, if they ask me that question, I'm not going to say I live in Tokyo, which is the capital of Japan. That is not a natural answer when you're talking to someone who's living in Tokyo. Okay, if the question was asked in America or in Australia or London or something, that's okay. But if they ask me in Tokyo, where are you living? I'm going to say, I live in a small flat near Shinagawa Station. which is about 10 minutes from here on the Yamanote line. All right, did you hear that? So I'm being more specific. I started with something like I live in a small flat. I could have said I lived in a tiny flat. You could say I live in a big flat, I live in a nice flat, I live in an old flat, anything you want. All right, now many people will say I live in a company subsidized flat, which is good. Oh, by the way, do you understand what a flat is? Okay, the flat is the British word for apartment. Now, don't forget, apartment in Japan and in other countries is a little bit different. An apartment may be manshan in Japanese. So whether you live in a huge, beautiful tower apartment or you live in a small, old, rundown apartment, we can say a flat or apartment. Okay? Do not say mansion. That is not English in that sense. Okay? So, yeah, I live in a small flat near Shinagawa Station. It's about 10 minutes from here on the Yamanote line. Great answer. Yeah, well done. Okay, just think about that. Keep it simple. All right, but prepare a nice, simple answer. Be ready to fluently say this answer because it's highly likely that this question will come up. Okay. Now, the next question they may ask after that is, what do you like about your flat? And I would say, well, it's convenient. It's close to Shinagawa Station. And of course, there are many shops, there are many restaurants. And because the Yamanote line's there, I can get to Shinjuku or Tokyo Station within 20 minutes. All right. Nothing difficult. I think almost everyone would understand what I'm trying to say here. But the fluency is the most important point. Okay. No grammar mistakes. I can speak fluently. I'm not saying okay, which is very, very important. All right, now if they ask me, what do you dislike about it? I'm going to say the noise. I live near a big highway, so it can get very noisy, and yeah, I don't like that. Okay, any questions there? It's pretty simple, right? It's not difficult at all. Now, I want to make one point. If you do have any questions, put them in the comments section and I will answer them. Okay. Now, after they ask you about your job or your living conditions, they may ask a strange question. You know, I'm sure you've experienced this before. They may ask you about shoes or sunglasses, or they may ask you about the environment. These kinds of things that you're not really ready for. Okay. One question that someone told me they got the other day was, do you ever get bored? Okay, do you ever get bored? All right, now, of course, I'm going to answer like this. Do you ever get bored? Of course. I'm like everyone else. I get bored. Sometimes at work, I can get bored. On the weekends, if I've got nothing to do, yeah, I get bored. All right, so I answered with, of course. Nice, simple answer. Of course. I'm like everyone else. Okay, sometimes I get bored. Now, why do they ask these strange questions? Okay, the reason why is they're checking your grammar. All right, now, many people have a problem with bored versus boring. Okay, think about this. What's the difference? Okay, so it is boring. The movie is boring. I'm bored. Okay, or he is boring, so I'm bored. All right, if you don't understand the difference, please put a comment down and I will answer the comment for you. I'll give you a little bit of a hint and we'll talk about another video if there are enough comments down there. Okay, it's very interesting. You know, many people have trouble with this. Even very high-level English speakers have trouble with this. So that's why the IELTS asked this question. Another question that came up was, how often do you buy shoes? Okay, now, why do they ask this question? There's a trap or hikake here. Shoes, there's always two shoes, yeah. You never buy a shoe. That's strange. but many people will say, yeah, I bought a shoe last week. Okay? I don't know what shop would sell you a shoe, but maybe it's possible. All right. Other things they may ask you are things like, when you were a child, did you, okay? Or when you were a child, were you? All right. That's another trap. They want to see that you can switch from present tense, genzai-ke, to past tense, kako-ke. Okay, so think about that. Whenever you hear that child part, you have to switch to kako-ke, past tense. Okay, so yeah, look, guys, these are the basic steps in the task 1. There are many more things you will need to do. I suggest that you practice a lot. Think about the common questions for task 1. Try to make some answers for them. Maybe even write down a script. But the best thing is get a voice recorder and make some recordings of yourself. Have a listen to yourself. Okay, when you practice over and over again, hopefully you're improving and you're getting better all the time. Okay, if you have any topics for task 1 that you would like me to discuss, please put them in the comment section and I will make a video for you. All right, thank you guys for watching. Please watch my other videos as well for the task 2 and task 3, even for the writing section. I wish you all good luck with the IELTS. Goodbye.